What if I told you that the single most important skill for your future isn't something you're learning from a textbook? It's a technology you already use every single day, and, well, mastering it has become a new kind of survival skill. So let's dive in.
Okay, just think for a second about the apps you use all the time. Your music, your navigation, social media, even the tools that help you write better. You probably have all of these on your phone right now. But what's the invisible thread that connects them all?
You guessed it. The answer is artificial intelligence. It's the engine running under the hood of everything. That TikTok For You page that kind of knows you better than you know yourself? Yep, that's an AI. The way Spotify curates the perfect playlist, or how Google Maps can predict a traffic jam, all AI. This isn't science fiction anymore. It's just your daily life.
And that brings us to the whole point of this. Right now, most of us are just passive users. AI does things for us. The goal is to completely flip that script, to become an active master, where AI does things with you on your terms.
So, to become a master, first things first, we gotta understand what we're even dealing with. And hey, don't worry, we're gonna skip all the crazy jargon, because at its core, AI is way simpler than you might think.
Here's pretty much the simplest definition you'll ever need. AI is all about building computer systems that can do things we once thought were uniquely human. You know, learning, reasoning, understanding what we say. That's really it. It's not about killer robots, it's just really, really smart code.
In this comparison right here, it makes it super clear. A normal program is like a recipe. It just follows a rigid set of instructions. If A happens, then do B. But an AI, well, an AI is more like a student. It doesn't just follow instructions. It actually learns from patterns in massive, and I mean massive, amounts of data. It's the difference between memorizing a fact and truly understanding a concept.
Okay, this brings us to the place where there's a ton of confusion and honestly a little bit of fear. AI in school. The absolute best way to think about it is as a calculator for words. And with that idea in mind, let's bust some of the biggest myths floating around out there.
All right, myth number 1. The biggest fear is that AI will make us all lazy. But think about it. Did calculators stop us from learning math? Of course not. They just automated the tedious part, the arithmetic, so we could focus our brain power on solving much bigger problems. AI does the exact same thing for writing and research. It handles the grunt work, freeing you up for actual critical thinking.
Now this one is huge. There's this myth that if an AI sounds confident, it must be right. That is so dangerously false. AIs can hallucinate, which is just a cool way of saying they literally make stuff up. They can invent facts, cite fake sources, and do it all with this incredible air of confidence. That's why you have to remember, AI is your co-pilot. It can help you navigate, for sure, but you are always the pilot in charge of the plane.
Okay, so this leads us right to the most important question for any student, right? Where's the line between using a powerful new tool and just straight-up cheating? Let's draw that ethical line right now, nice and clear.
Look, when you just copy and paste an AI-generated essay, you're not just breaking some school rule. The real person you're cheating is you. You're robbing yourself of the chance to learn how to think, how to build an argument, how to create. And that's a skill gap that will absolutely catch up to you later.
So how do you stay on the right side of that line? It's actually really simple. Just remember this one rule. Focus on your input into the AI, not the AI's output. Think of it as a thinking partner, not an essay factory.
Here's what that looks like in the real world. Bad use is basically asking it to do the work for you. But great use, that's when you give the AI your own work, your input, and ask for feedback. See the difference? One is plagiarism. The other is like having a personal tutor on call 24/7 to help you sharpen your own ideas. All right, so now that we know what AI is and we know how to use it ethically, let's get practical. Let's talk about the actual tools and tactics you can use to get ahead, like starting today.
Here are 2 awesome, totally free tools to get you started. ChatGPT is your go-to for brainstorming, organizing your thoughts, and getting creative help. And here's a little pro tip. Start your prompt with the phrase, "act as a tutor." It completely changes the game and turns it into a powerful study partner. Then, for more current events or research, you want to use Google Gemini, since it's hooked up to real-time info. A great hack there is to ask it to summarize long articles or videos to see if they're even worth your time.
Let's end with this because it's the most critical takeaway from our entire chat. The threat isn't that AI is going to take your place. The real threat is being replaced by someone who knows how to use AI. Mastering this tool is the new competitive edge, period.
Look, learning to work with AI,
This is the new literacy. It's just as fundamental as learning to type or use the internet was for the generation before us. This isn't some passing trend, it is the foundation for your future. So the only question left is, are you ready to learn it?